I haven't like actively tried to subvert the bad teacher trope at all, for better or worse.
I happen to know that Miles is currently single. So, your assignment for today is to catfish him on his Facebook page. What are you guys waiting for? Catfish!
I've always just kind of enjoyed. I think it all started when I was a child. You know, I was able to charm my mom while also being an asshole, which allowed me to get away with a lot of shit. What was your question? You have to continue to put challenges in his path and, watch him win sometimes, but also lose a lot. I think that's how you gain some of that back. My feeling about the way to make a character like this work is always that at times you just need to see that there's vulnerability and insecurity that is being covered up by this sort of behavior. If somebody's just a straight jerk, I think that's not funny, but when you see them constantly having to save face, constantly having to prove to everybody how great they are, I think then it becomes a nice parody of watching that asshole sort of get his comeuppance in real time in a way that's fun and funny to watch. He would never admit it, but I think Jack is sort of falling in love with his hometown, and I think you can feel that. I think his behavior sort of shows that in the second season. He's writing, the premise for the season is essentially he decides to write another book, but this time about how it could be possible that so many people in his hometown of Toledo, which he considers to be a terrible place, can be so happy. And so he believes there's a philosophical treatise that could be written about that. So he decides to immerse himself in his hometown like he never has before and try to learn the secret of happiness through sort of the mundane, I guess, as he would see it. And pretty early on in the season, he also ends up meeting a pretty formidable force in the school that's initially a little bit of a rival in the school, but then it seems like he's starting to kind of fall in love a little bit, even though, again, he would never want to admit that. But there's, Mike O'Brien, the showrunner, has done a great job of creating a love interest for my character, but in a very unconventional way, and it's been a lot of fun to have that foil this year.
I have an awesome new Miles mission. We're gonna make him a deadbeat dad.
Hold up, wouldn't he have to be a dad first?
Dan, you're great at this class.
I am?
Well, they're going to have to take the AP test eventually, but not being a writer on the show, I'm not sure exactly if that's in the plans for this season. But I do believe this season is a direct continuation of season one, so it's all it's most of the same kids and it's the same year. Well, look, I mean, we all dress terribly. This is in the '90s, okay? So this was not, we were coming out of the '80s. We were still being influenced by the '80s though, so there was a little bit of that. Everybody was still tucking in, probably wearing their jeans a little too high. But for the time, I'm sure it was very, very cool. No, I don't know, man. God, I had a sort of, I don't feel like I had like a very tumultuous high school. I wasn't super popular, but I also wasn't like bullied or made fun of. I don't know. I kind of thought like high school was kind of fun. I thought it was pretty cool. I've not been invited to any of my high school reunions. I don't know if that's just because there's nobody who did put one together, or I don't think anybody really wanted to go back. There was like 750 people in my graduating class. Like, I don't think I don't know. I barely even remember what the hell happened in high school. I started drinking a little bit in high school, smoking things, and I was one of those people who's kind of friends with a lot of people from a lot of different schools and a lot of different grades, so it wouldn't really be representative of my high school experience to have a reunion with just my class at just my high school. If I could get together with just my crew, like just the people that I used to hang out with and go to parties with and stuff like that in high school, that'd be awesome. I'd love to do that, but that's impossible.
Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go head the Stanford philosophy department.
Hey, not too shabby,
I know. Yeah.
I'd say you're going to greener pastures, but California is on fire.
Okay,